And Big J is pumped. Jeff, welcome to the show. Good to have you on.
Thanks for having me. What an exciting night.
I know. You picked a great night to come on. I mean, this Phillies team, look, they set the goal in the spring training. They set their sights on the division. And, I mean, mission accomplished for now, right?
First NL East title in 13 years. How long have we been waiting for this? And year by year, you're going, oh, what's going on with this team? But finally, we are here. And does this pave the way now for a World Series championship? Of course, that is the goal for this team. And you can tell by the celebration tonight, it's kind of subdued. And we didn't really see them go too nuts, at least on the field. Right. Obviously, in the clubhouse, things are a little bit different. Yeah. But there is a lot of unfinished business with this team.
Well, including the regular season, Devin. I mean, they got to, they should try to get that home field throughout. I mean, I think they're still going to try to win these next 5 games.
Yeah, I mean, you look back to the last 2 postseasons, and they had to go through the wild card round first. They've already kind of surpassed that. But from the start of the season, their messaging has been clear: World Series or bust. You mentioned their celebration on the field. I appreciated that. Rob Thompson likes to say, act like you've been there before. They acted like they had been there before, maybe not clinching the NL East because they hadn't, but still they know that they have a much longer way to go.
Well, certainly. And look what happened the last 2 years, right? You get bounced by Arizona. That was somewhat embarrassing. The year before, they're in the World Series, perhaps maybe a year too early. What did John Middleton, the Phillies owner, say to them in spring training during a meeting?
I want my effing trophy. That one?
Well, he just said that tonight.
Yeah.
He wants his trophy back. Yeah. And he has said that, look, that has been a messaging from John Middleton every single year. He wants that trophy back. This year, they are poised to do it, right? And how do they play in the playoffs? That remains to be seen, but this team is built to win in October.
Well, and when they did. So let's go inside the Phillies clubhouse to see how they handled their NL East clinch.
Man, it's been a long time coming, like you said. It's really cool. It's really cool. I've always wanted to win the division, and like you said, when I first signed here, got up to the big leagues, and felt like we were a little bit ways away.
We talked about it in spring training. Winning the division, going into the postseason strong, trying to do everything we can to win that first round, win the pennant, and hopefully win the World Series. And like I said, this is just the first step. We got all of October left, and we got to take it one group at a time and take care of business and do what we do. It's an incredible division, and it's a blessing to be on top. We gotta, like I said, we gotta enjoy it tonight and get back to work tomorrow.
A reporter asked me in Clearwater how long it took me to get over 23, and I said, "What do you think? What makes you think I'm actually over it?" I said, and by the way, I'm not over 09 or 10 or 11 either.
You're dressed for success.
Great cargo. Anybody who needs a beer, we're unlocked.
You're more than a 6-pack right now.
Yeah.
You're like an entire case
it's like
in there.
14-pack. They don't even sell those.
They've got an edge to them, and they want it. And you never know how it's going to end up, but I know that they're going to come in. I can't guarantee anything, but I can guarantee this: they're going to prepare and they're going to compete.
This is a top-down accomplishment. The players, of course, had to play the games, win the games, accomplish what they did. But to see John Middleton enjoying this moment, to see Rob Thompson enjoying it, they deserve just as much credit. They have led this team like total pros. And John Middleton is one of my favorite owners in all of sports. He puts his money where his mouth is. He spends the money. He truly wants to win.
And he's so honest, right?
Yeah.
Like, I'm still not over 09 and 10 and 11 and 2023. And I fully believe that. And I think that's a good mindset to have as an owner.
Because he's a Philadelphian, right?
Right.
And to him, he lives and dies with it, just like every single fan out there. He wants to see a World Series championship and celebrate. All the other stuff at this point, we've seen it, we've been there. Now it's time for this Phillies team to finish the job.
Didn't see Dave Dombrowski there. I'm sure he's having a cold one, enjoying it.
Sure.
He was calm, cool, and collected, and there's plenty more work to be done. All right, the Eagles win it 15-12 in a game that we said every curse word in the book.
Yeah.
We sweat. Yeah. We were elated at the end when it was all said and done.
The definition of an emotional roller coaster.
Is it every game that way, it seems?
Yeah, but that one felt extra emotional. Like, it was just, I didn't enjoy watching that game for one moment.
Jeff, the good. Dallas Goedert finally got involved.
Yes, maybe for that
well, they had no other choice. I mean, nobody else was out there at the end of the day. I mean, A.J. Brown's hurt. Devontae Smith is hurt. Where else are you going to go other than Dallas Goedert or Saquon Barkley, those are your two guys that Jalen Hurts had to rely on there.
Reed Blankenship with another big play there. Another good, just the defensive line showed up. I feel like they've got their bearings. Maybe they needed 3 games to get in shape. I don't know what it was, a 5-man front from Vic Fangio, whatever it was, it worked.
It was working.
On the defensive line. It was great to see Jalen Carter kind of get fired up at the end of the game, a different side to him that we hadn't seen before.
Yeah.
What did you make of that defensive line?
They were tremendous, and that's the game that they needed from this D-line. I mean, the Eagles have really struggled, obviously, replacing Fletcher Cox. You have 2 young guys in the middle. They've been just needing these 2 guys to step up, and we really saw it from Carter, and he really got out of his shell. He got the game ball, and he really was kind of just the microcosm of this team yesterday and kept them in that game and really won them that game was the defense, because the offense really had a lot of issues for the first 3 quarters.
Can we talk about the bad now? Can we get just our
what would
quarterback?
Philadelphia be without talking about the negative?
Okay, here's a 4th down. Here's
What bad are we starting with?
Nick Sirianni says he called this play, overrode Kellen Moore.
But you know what's interesting about this? Nick Sirianni's taking all of the heat for that 4th and 1 at the 15 right before the half. But what nobody's talking about, Dallas Goedert, listen to this nugget. Dallas Goedert misheard the play in the huddle, okay? So he lined up on that 4th and 1 before the half with 10 seconds to go from the 15 in the wrong stance. Okay, he didn't hear the play correctly. He doesn't block for Saquon Barkley on the fake tush push. And so he made a mistake. Therefore, the whole play blew up. So,
well, but that also, and I'm not saying this is Nick Sirianni's fault completely, but it was dumb little mistakes like that, right? That kept happening. They had too many men in the huddle at one point. The illegal man downfield. I mean, just dumb stuff that these guys have to clean up that goes far beyond, going for it on 4th down or an interception. It's just, you guys are professionals. It's week 3 of the NFL season. You can't be making mistakes. I get if you mishear it, you mishear it, but I just feel like too many of those little mistakes keep happening.
And the other conversation really is, do you just kick the field goal and call it a day?
There's
just
also
kick the
15
field goal.
seconds left in the game.
Right. So
what else can you do?
You had 1 timeout in that situation. What are you going to do? But Dallas Goedert took the blame. Nobody's talking about that. Everyone's putting all the heat on Nick Sirianni, who is saying, look, I didn't do a great job in that situation, but Dallas Goedert really deserves a lot of the blame for that situation, because if you watch the film back, he's lined up wrong, he's kind of caught off guard, and it all blows up as Saquon Barkley
Can you call a timeout there? Can you call a timeout there? Hey, he's not lined up, or move. That's what a quarterback does, right? You move traffic, you call a timeout if something doesn't seem right. I'm not sure what their timeout situation was there.
Did they have one situation?
Well, here's the thing. They don't have an elite quarterback or an elite coach. You're not going anywhere if one or both of those guys are not elite. And I think we know enough to know that we have an average quarterback at best right now with the turnovers. He's made some great plays. He's made some bonehead plays. You take the average, you put it all in a blender, you got an average quarterback right now. Our coach may not see the end of the year if he continues making decisions like this. What do you think about that?
I think there's no scenario where Nick Sirianni is let go in the middle of the season. Jeffrey Lurie does not do anything like that. They're 2-1. Yes, look, Jalen Hurts, he's been really bad with the turnovers. Most turnovers in the NFL dating back to last year, 26 turnovers in just 20 games. It's awful. But as Saquon Barkley said yesterday, he is the most poised person he's ever been around in his life. He led them on a comeback. After all of the mistakes, he led them on a comeback, and at the end of the day, won them that game. And was that stretch at the end of last season all on Jalen Hurts? Of course it wasn't. Was it all on Nick Sirianni? Of course it wasn't. But I see no scenario where Nick Sirianni would be let go in the middle of the season.
We are out of time. Jeff Skversky, thank you for being here.
Thanks for having me.
Come back and see us again. Coming up next, Temple's kicker, Maddox Trujillo, 64-yarder over the weekend. He joins us next.